Hey guys, nothing important here, and I'm here to explain the scaling for Destiny 2 Witch Queen in 5 minutes or less. So, let's get started. To start off at the cliffhanger at the end of Season of the Lost, after Savathun escaped from her crystal prison, she then went in front of the Traveler. After she went in front of the Traveler, it was clear that she was dying because she was separated from her worm, as we saw. And then after she finally died, we then saw a hive ghost go up to Savathun and revive her. This ghost's name was Maru, by the way. But then something else had happened after that we're not quite sure of at this point. The hive somehow gained the light. They're called the Lucent brood. They're Savathun's brood of hive guardians. And what happens is that we have to invade her throne world to try to kill Savathun, because what actually happens later in the DLC is that she creates a scheme involving a Traveler. We'll get into that later. But what had then happened was that we invade her throne world, we fight her the one time to get the glaive, and then we get kicked out. It was revealed in that encounter that Savathun's using the glaive as part of a plan to get her memories back. But we figured this out later. Anyway, moving on, we then begin our investigations of the Throne World. We then go into the Throne World because we have to piece apart Savathun's past and then figure out how we can use that to beat her. Well, what we didn't know was that when we did the strike where we went to the Temple of Oryx, and when we went to the Temple of Xivu Arath, along with the Temple of Sothona, we didn't quite realize that Savathun was using us as part of her plan to regain who she was as a person. Because it's later revealed in the DLC that when we actually saw the cutscene of her getting the light because of her death, she gets this amp and power that we end up running away from, and the cutscene just ends there. I think that this is a case of her new ability that she talked about in Truth to Power. She described this ability to essentially be where if my enemies fail to understand me, I gain power. No longer is she in the realm of sword logic, she's now in the realm of the light. So what actually happened here was that we failed to understand her, she got a power increase. Now, I'm going to give you the name of this ability. It's called Imbaru. Again, it's in Truth to Power, so just go read Truth to Power. But then what later happened was that we had to figure out how to take on Savathun, because she regained her memories, and she was a guardian, and she was getting stronger and stronger. And then, all of a sudden, she had created this ritual where she was going to seal the Traveler inside of her throne world, because she wanted to hide it from the Witness. The Witness is a character that I'll talk about in another video. But, moving on, we then have to go to Savathun's throne world. We then have to take the memory from the calcified worm familiar, and then we have to disturb the ritual in order to weaken Savathun, or at least amp us with the Thread Cutter ability. We're not quite sure if Thread Cutter is a debuff or it's a buff, but regardless, it goes up to ×3, and we use that to take on Savathun and eventually beat her. But then, because Savathun was killed, her seal over the pyramid ship weakened, and then it was revealed that there was an ancient evil inside this pyramid ship. This person's name was Rhulk. Now, I'm not going to give you this long-winded story, so I'm going to get to the point. So, we invaded the pyramid ship, Marasov is afraid of what's in there, we have to go and kill it. We then go through the ship, we meet this thing called the Caretaker. The Caretaker is this abomination of scorn and hive, and that if you see a bunch of those images, it looks like a bunch of worms trying to go inside the Scorn's body, which it actually is. So anyway, we kill the Caretaker, we then do the chaotic third encounter, we then go to Rhulk. We then take on Rhulk by nerfing his shield by using the communion symbols, as well as Power of the Dark. We then use his death hacks to essentially fuel us into nerfing the shield, and then eventually we went on top of the platform, and then we fought Rhulk, and then later killed him, using the weakness of the Upended, because by the way, we actually fought on the Upended, which was powered by Zeta, which actually gets stronger throughout the raid. Anyway, so eventually we use the Upended to weaken Rhulk, and then we eventually kill him. At this point, the Guardian is either complex multiversal, high out reversal, or just straight up 1S. Now, I'll let that go up to your interpretation, because the video ends as it's been 5 minutes. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. My name is Nothing Important here, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.